In 1968, U.S. soldiers arrived in a small Vietnamese village near Da Nang. The village, untouched by major battles, became a temporary refuge. Historical records show that such interactions often led to cultural clashes. Soldiers, unfamiliar with local customs, were both curious and wary. The women, dressed in traditional Ao Dai, observed the newcomers with equal parts suspicion and intrigue. This moment marked the beginning of complex relationships shaped by war. The village market became a neutral ground for initial interactions. Soldiers bartered for tropical fruits and handmade goods, while local women cautiously engaged. According to oral histories, these exchanges often involved gestures rather than words, due to language barriers. The market's vibrant colors and chaotic energy masked underlying tensions. Some women saw economic opportunities, while soldiers sought fleeting connections amid the war's chaos. As night fell, makeshift bars near base camps came alive. These spaces, documented in veterans' memoirs, were zones of temporary escape. Local women wore modernized Ao Dai, blending tradition with wartime pragmatism. Alcohol flowed freely, and conversations turned personal. Psychologists later noted these interactions often stemmed from soldiers' loneliness and villagers' economic desperation, creating a dangerous emotional cocktail. Private meetings occurred in rice fields under cover of darkness. Declassified letters reveal soldiers often promised love or rescue they couldn't deliver. The women, some as young as 17, risked village ostracization. These encounters were equal parts tender and tragic, with both parties ignoring the looming reality, the war's impermanence. Historians estimate thousands of such relationships formed during the conflict. Jealousy erupted when multiple soldiers vied for one woman's attention. Military police reports from the era document brawls over such disputes. The women, caught in the middle, faced impossible choices. Rejecting advances risked retaliation, while acceptance bred resentment. This toxic dynamic mirrored the war itself, possessive, volatile, and ultimately destructive for all involved. Gossip spread like wildfire through tight-knit communities. Anthropological studies show village elders often shamed women involved with soldiers, labeling them bar girls regardless of circumstances. Some families disowned daughters, fearing ruined marriage prospects. This social stigma persisted long after the soldiers left, demonstrating how war's emotional casualties extended beyond battlefields. In rare cases, soldiers genuinely fell in love. Declassified Red Cross records show attempts to sponsor Vietnamese partners, but bureaucratic hurdles made success nearly impossible. Most farewells occurred abruptly, with soldiers reassigned without warning. The women were left with fading memories and sometimes lifelong consequences, including mixed-race children stigmatized as dust of life. We die. When units relocated, departures were swift and clinical. Military logs indicate most soldiers never saw their Vietnamese connections again. The women watched convoys disappear in clouds of red dust, returning to villages that now viewed them differently. Some turned to prostitution near bases. Others retreated into isolation. This mass abandonment left psychological wounds on both sides. Post-war, many Vietnamese women faced harsh realities. Academic research documents how some bore American children who were later targets of discrimination. Others struggled with PTSD from multiple traumas, war violence followed by social rejection. Their stories were largely erased from official histories, surviving only in secret diaries or oral testimonies gathered decades later by researchers. Decades later, aging veterans sometimes confess to haunted memories. The Vietnam War Oral History Project archives reveal men still tormented by faces they couldn't save or promises they couldn't keep. A few attempted to locate lost loves through NGOs, but most found only silence. These unresolved endings became metaphors for the war itself, a conflict that left everyone involved forever changed.